everybody, this is dkdynamite, and I have another video here for you guys talking about early access to Black Ops 6 Zombies, a rumor that may have finally been shut down, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and with that being said, there's plenty of brand new article coverage going up on dkdynamite.com for those that want to stay up to date with all things Call of Duty. It's been already a busy last couple of days going over some new Black Ops 6 information, and we have the launch of Season 5 Reloaded as of tomorrow. I'll be live streaming all day, breaking everything down from every single game mode, but we're also about a week away from finally seeing some new jet gun gameplay, some next-gen jet gun footage from Liberty Falls, one of the round-based maps coming to Black Ops 6 Zombies. I'll be live in DC getting my hands on Liberty Falls for the very first time. Hope to see you guys there in my live stream, of course, but I actually managed to pull, by coincidence, the jet gun out of the mystery box in this Vey Victus custom map, which was hilarious. But about a couple of days ago, there was also some intel drops that you guys may have missed. If you guys follow Detonated on Twitter, you probably saw a repost of them, but we got a new look at the Arsenal machine over in Terminus. Now, this is a machine that'll probably be in every single round-based map moving forward for Black Ops 6. It allows you to go ahead and upgrade your weapon's rarity for, I believe, transfer of some salvage, and you can also go ahead and buy some ammo mods for your weapons as well. So, obviously, at the main menu is where you can add augments to ammo mods, perks, and field upgrades, but this will be the machine where you can actually get the ammo mods from, which is really important. We also got a first look at the save and quit feature in Black Ops 6 Zombies. So, obviously, when you hit pause, you'll be able to change your gobble gun pack, your loadout, or you can go ahead and save and quit. Of course, this is only a feature for solo and allows you to save just one match at a time on your Activision account. Now, you can't save a co-op match, and you could still go play a different match of Zombies or co-op while you have another game saved, but again, you can only have one game saved at a time. I made a separate video going over this feature individually in, I think, a commentary like a week or so ago, but jumping into early access now. So as of today, following the campaign gameplay reveal for the mission Most Wanted, some of us expected maybe a little mention at the very end of the gameplay panel that there could be some early access to either campaign or Zombies. Now, if you guys remember when the Cold War campaign gameplay was shown several years ago, they showed a couple of minutes of one of the earlier missions. At the very end of that is when they announced the alpha, so there was a possibility today at Gamescom that they could all blow our minds with an early access announcement, but considering COD Next is a week away, that's probably the better event to announce this at, and we'll circle back to COD Next in a second, but in the blog post for today's campaign walkthrough, it does mention that you can play campaign for the first time on October 25th. That doesn't exactly rule out the possibility they surprise us with an early access announcement, but that's kind of a definitive statement to kind of play devil's advocate here. Maybe that does mean we just won't see any type of early access opportunity for Black Ops 6 as far as campaign goes, but don't rule out Zombies just yet. Now, I am thinking maybe there's a small possibility because of the review bombing that we saw for Modern Warfare 3's early access campaign last year. Maybe that led to some higher ups saying, you know what, maybe it's not a good idea to see some bad reviews early on because of campaign alone, which could result in some canceled pre-orders or just negative reception to even the other modes later as kind of a domino effect. So maybe let's avoid doing campaign access and let's just launch everything at once, day one, like the old days of the franchise. That could be possible, but I'm also not going to forget that there is this really weird mention on both the PlayStation and Xbox storefronts about Black Ops 6 that apparently the game is playable on October 17th. That's an exact week before the launch of Black Ops 6 on the 25th, and if you look at campaign access for MW2 and 3 in the past couple of years, those early access campaigns released an exact week before the launches of those games respectively. So with that in mind, there could still be something happening an exact week before the full launch of Black Ops 6, and that could be what both Sony and Microsoft are referring to from those store pages, right? Keep that in mind. Let's not forget about that, especially when going into the COD Next broadcast next week. But I also want to remind you about that Windows Central rumor that came out, I think almost a year ago now. So a rumor did surface from the media here, from Windows Central specifically, that apparently Activision was looking into providing several weeks of early access to Black Ops 6 Zombies. Now, obviously, this is a very old rumor, could very easily be out of date, but does make for some pretty cool discussion. Now, is it possible they misinterpreted the Liberty Falls early access from COD Next as this big public early access event? Maybe they just heard some bad info, or it was info that was being considered at the time. Totally a possibility, but take a listen to what Codename Pizza said on his live stream just earlier today.
Zombies early access? No. No. That is something that I asked. Is there Zombies early access for pre-orders? No. That was a rumor. There is no zombie. I feel like it's gonna annoy some people.
So with that clip in mind, it sounds like the select zombie creators that were at Treyarch 2 weeks ago did actually ask the studio what was going on with early access, and it sounds like, at least as of now, the answer is no, it's not happening. Now, is it possible here that they could just be telling them that it's not, so that there's a bigger element of surprise at COD Next? Totally a possibility, but if you ask me what I think, I just don't think we are going to see Black Ops 6 Zombies early access. I think there's a number of reasons as to why, but if you also want to play around with this idea, then taking a look at the recent blog post about COD Next, it does mention there's going to be several surprises during the broadcast, and I do think one of those surprises is probably that Verdansk is going to come back in 2025, but one of those surprises could still be zombies related. I mean, this is the first COD Next event where a new zombie experience is going to be playable in front of a big audience, so apart from multiplayer and some Warzone announcements, there could be more than just Liberty Falls gameplay shown that could also make an announcement about the zombies mode, such as an early access opportunity. But what I was getting to is that maybe early access for zombies is something that Treyarch is fully against. I mean, you can argue, oh, well, if they're showing gameplay at COD Next anyway, then why not let everybody play it a good week or two early? And I get that argument too, but maybe it does ruin the magic and mystery of zombies a little bit, right? I think something along the lines of Onslaught or even an LTM played on round-based maps would make more sense as like a zombies beta or type of early access period, instead of just giving players the full round-based map, right? Even without the Easter eggs, I still think that still does take away a little bit from the charm that that map could have when the entire world gets to play it at once on the real launch day. I'm also worried that if they did allow for zombies early access, I mean, they still might, by the way, it's not fully confirmed by Activision themselves yet, it's just, you know, the word of mouth from a content creator, who I trust, by the way. I don't think Pizza would make that up at all. Now, if they did allow for early access to zombies, though, there's a huge chance that whatever build they release to the public a week or two early might have some spoilers in it for the actual main quest that may or may not be live during the early access period. It could set up spoilers for even another map and other parts of the game. So I think to avoid all of that and to just prevent another zombies controversy, maybe it's just best to not have early access to zombies. Maybe a mode like MWZ would have kind of made more sense, but a round-based map, I don't think we're going to end up seeing that. And maybe that's a good thing, right? As much as I would like to play one of the new round-based maps a week before launch, I think it's for the best of the community to leave all of that for the October 25th experience. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they really considered this heavily at one point and then looked at the possible downsides to doing this. So honestly, I don't mean to be a fence sitter on this topic. I'm not really opposed to them just saying, hey, let's have a traditional launch with everything dropping on one day, whereas I'm also not opposed to them saying, okay, a week before the launch of the game on the 17th of October, here's one round-based map, or here's the entire campaign, right? I'm down for just about anything here, but I think if anything, a lot of us are probably going to get the idea as to what's happening with launch once the COD Next broadcast happens next week, and then we'll all come together as a community and probably say, you know what, that's, I think, a better idea than what we all thought originally, right? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what officially gets announced by Activision. Now, it's also worth mentioning that with the launch of both Terminus and Liberty Falls on day one, they probably will lock both Easter eggs by at least 12 to 24 hours. Maybe a bit less than that, who actually knows, but I think it would be beneficial if, at least for the 25th of October, for half a day at most, they allow players to just learn the maps and vibe with the actual game, get accustomed to the weapons, characters, environments, the omnidirectional movement. Then after that, unlock the main quest. I think that would be very beneficial, but you can go again and raise the question of, okay, if they do that, will the Easter egg be leaked while everybody out there is just playing casually and learning the game? Will the quest steps be posted on Twitter or Reddit, which will ruin the actual hunt once the Easter egg begins? Now, you guys might agree that the launch of Black Ops 4 Zombies was pretty hectic. We had 4 round-based maps, of course, just 3 on disc, but a 4th one if you had the Black Ops Pass. You had all those maps live day one. All Easter eggs ended up dropping, I think, a good 12 hours after the game went global. So that was hectic, but I would say that was probably more hectic because of the fact that stability wasn't all that great. There was a lot of blue screens and a number of issues with the base game. I think if that game would have released perfectly, though, it would have been cool to see how the community reacted to, you know, everybody kind of splitting up into groups and conquering a certain map over another, and then you can start to see which quests are going to get solved first. In this case with Black Ops 6, it's only 2 maps, both of which have main Easter eggs, so I think if the game releases very smoothly, then it'll be cool to see, you know, half the player base probably on one map, half on the other, or we'll have to wait and see what that ends up looking like. But I don't think it's a bad idea to have both quests live at the same time, but I could also agree with a lot of you folks out there that say, oh, maybe it's best to have one quest be live first, whether it's Liberty or Terminus, then drop the other Easter egg like right after one of them gets solved, right? That would be cool too. I'm also not opposed to that. I'm just really looking forward to how new and rich this different type of launch is going to be, because it'll probably set a standard for how future zombie launches are going to look like, at least when it comes to round-based. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on potential early access to Black Ops 6 Zombies? Do you guys think it's going to happen or potentially be announced at COD Next? And also let me know what mode you guys are going to play day one. It's going to be a pretty busy launch with Black Ops 6 on the 25th of October. I know for me, I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice some zombies time and just go full force and full send the campaign. I'm going to cover all of that first. By the time I finish that, I'll probably be ready to move on to zombies, unless I take a little nap first, then jump onto whatever round-based map probably got solved at that point. I'm going to make sure I manage my time well, but I know for sure everyone's going to be on zombies, so I'm going to conquer campaign first and then move on to another mode as soon as I get the chance. But yeah, if there's early access to either campaign or Liberty Falls, that'll definitely change my schedule with how I produce some content, but I wonder how it'll change yours. Let me know down below. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.